Page 4. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanjo Pardo Tane Gyapsu Dage Jin Soge Be Sonam Ke Jola Penjir Sanje Jubare Shu Sanje Joda Zoge Chonam La Chanjo Pardo Tane Gyapsu Dage Jin Soge Be Sonam Jola Penjir Sanje Jubare Shu Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Dathagato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. Okay. This morning, what we did, the first session, what we did was we continued with the four seals. All composite things impermanent, all contaminated things are suffering nature, and then the more we think about the. Oh, by the way, what is the third seal? All phenomena, the nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay. And the Buddha, here under the Bodhi tree, when he became enlightened, and the whole purpose for the Buddha to become enlightened is to benefit the beings. And the best way by which to benefit beings is by giving the wisdom, sharing the wisdom. And the Buddha remains silent, not sharing the wisdom for 49 days. You're getting it? Just spending the 1 week here in this place, another week to some other place, just contemplating on this emptiness and not sharing the wisdom at all for 49 days. Finally, the kings of the gods and goddesses, Indra, Brahma, they descended. So what's going here? The Prince Siddhartha, he became enlightened and supposed to be sharing the wisdom, but he's not sharing the wisdom at all, not giving the teaching. So they descended and made prostrations to the Buddha Shakyamuni, and they requested, please don't remain silent. Then the Buddha said that profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, non-composite, clear light, this is such as the nectar like the Dharma I've discovered. Finding no one who can fathom this teaching, in silence I'll return the words. So saying that the path, the reality that I've discovered, if anybody experiences this, is extremely profound, very peaceful. All your fears dissolve. Very peaceful, profound, peaceful, elaboration free, meaning that all these what creates all these problems, the complications, all the elaborations of the complications, they are all free in their experience of the emptiness, elaboration free. Clear light. Clear light. Way is so beautiful. The experience is so beautiful like clear light. Non-composite. This is a reality which existed since primordially. We could not see that because we are blinded from seeing the reality. We are obscured from having the vision of the reality. Clear light, non-composite. Such is the nectar like Dharma I've discovered. This is the path that I've discovered. The Buddha did not invent this. The Buddha discovered this. And yet it's so profound that hardly he finds people who can fathom this teaching. So he said, better it is for him to return to the woods in silence. Okay. What do you think is the reason why the Buddha said it? And then the Indra and Brahma, they made more requests. And finally, the Buddha accepted their request. And then the Buddha started towards Varanasi Sarnath and then gave the teachings. So why do you think the Buddha said that, better it is for him to return to woods in silence? Anyone? Why? And eventually the Buddha gave the teachings. Do you know the reason? Can you imagine any reason? Yes.
Maybe he was thinking of only great scope person, and is that the time he decided that there are 3 scopes and I can find, people will graduate.
Good. Okay. So let me give an example. Say there are 2 programs. One is 2 programs, actually they are equally good. One program is totally free. Other program you have to pay $500 just for 1 day program. You have to pay $500 or $1,000. And the other program is totally free, right? If people have money, where do you think, which of the 2 programs do you think they'll go to? One which is free, A, and B, where you have to pay $1,000. Where do you think the people will go? Huh? A or B? Are you sure? Those who think it is A, you are so naive. You are so naive. I'll tell you why you are naive. I'll tell you. Tibet has programs. Before 2012, Tibet programs, the Mr. Tsawon, he knows that. Tibet programs, they are all totally free, right? And the turn up is like 15 people, 20 people. Then the smart secretary said, Geshe, we should not do like this, we have to charge. We have to charge, we have to get the registration fee, right? 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees registration fee. Then next program is jam-packed. And there are 2 people who come there, high quality people. The first one, 20 people, they are not really interested in, they come for the food. Right? Whereas in the second, young people, university students, they have 75% discount. Right? Jam-packed. This is what you don't know. This is why I told you that it's very naive. You get it? It's human psychology that you don't value when it's free. Right? So when you say that, this is profound. And particularly, for example, say that if local people, around the Buddhas, if the local people around the Buddha, they come to make the request to the Buddha, then people will not pay respect. But Indra Brahma came, then everybody pays respect. Wow, Indra Brahma, who we see as a god, right? Who we see as a source of refuge. They come make questions to Buddha. They made the request, and the Buddha declined to teach, right? That must be so precious. So people started to give a value to this, feel the value of this. And finally, what's the real value? that which takes you towards infinite happiness, fearlessness. This is the most valuable thing, but people don't feel that. You're getting it? So to let the people feel that, only when people feel that, then the receptivity comes. How much the people learn is not determined by how good the teacher teaches. It depends on how receptive the students are. Right? When the student says that Indra Brahma came to make the request to the Buddha, and Buddha declined to give the teachings, still make the second request. So finally the Buddha accepted, oh, it must be a very important teaching. Right? And then the receptivity opens up. And then this is how they learn. You're getting it? This is so important. This is why the Buddha remains silent. And what did the Buddha say? That the path which he discovered is extremely profound. What is that? The third seal. What is the third seal? Which is the first two seals? What is the third seal? All phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. And this is the teaching which the Buddha identified as something so profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light, and non-composite. And if you understand that, this will liberate you from all your miseries. If you don't understand this, whether you are the king, queen, prime minister, president, richest person, right? Whoever you are, you have to continue to suffer. Nobody can help you. So the Buddha said what? The Buddhas do not watch the negativities of the beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands, nor does he transfer his spiritual realization to others. It is only through teaching the suchness meaning the ultimate reality, that the beings are liberated. You're getting it? So this is the suchness, the third seal. Okay, wow, that's amazing. All this is connected. Now you see that this is all connected, and the four seals is not just a small teaching. This is the essence, the quintessence of all the teachings of the Buddha. This is the quintessence, the essence of the essence. Okay, that everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness. What does it mean by that? Say, so finally, how important that is determined by how relevant that is to you. You agree? How relevant that is to you. And what do you think is the most relevant thing to you? What do you think is that thing which is most relevant to you? Anyone? Huh? Yes, something which takes you to, something which leads you to the freedom from suffering and to the ultimate happiness. That is the most valuable thing. You agree or not agree? Okay, what takes you there is the wisdom to know that everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. And how do we know that this is the one takes us there? So let me give you again the same example, and we need to understand it on this example and then apply this to your real understanding of emptiness. Example, okay. Say the same example, okay, very quickly. Say that so we talked about, say, very pleasant dream, unpleasant dream, neutral dream, and waking up. 4 states. Of the 4 states, you tell me. The first one is very pleasant. It ends up into very unpleasant, very scary. And then number 3 is neutral, and then number 4 is waking up. Okay, let's say we skip the number 3. Neutral is okay in between. Say one very pleasant dream. Next, it changes to the extremely scary nightmare, unpleasant dream. And the third, you think that, okay, before the third, you think that now I'm dead. Somebody wakes you up, or Paulo rings the bell. Right? Usually Paulo rings the bell, you're not too happy. All right, this time Paulo rings the bell, you're so happy. Wow, I'm in rude shield, right? This is not a real earthquake. I'm so glad Paulo rang the bell. So now, yeah, I'm safe. Okay, so of the 3, the moments, which do you prefer the most? 1, 2, 3. Number 3, raise hands. Number 3. Okay. What's the problem with number 1, number 2? Anyone? Very quick to save time. Yes, Tejla. In the first number one and number two, there is no freedom. How no freedom? Anyone? Raise hands. Yes, Sanchukda.
You see the dream as real.
You see dream is real. What's the problem with the dream is real? You're trapped. Okay. How you're trapped? So now you are trapped in the word trapped all the time. Right? You're trapped there. Yes, even that is very auspicious, very precious. Okay. So do you agree with me that, okay, how many of you like to have this dream that all this, after this retreat, right, Sally, the director of Root Institute, will take us all to have the audience of His Holiness Dalai Dharamsala. How many of you are happy, not happy? Raise hands who are happy. Right? Very happy. Not only that, in the dream, His Holiness tells Sally, oh Sally, why not we'll all have a cup of tea together with me? Are you happy, not happy? Even more happy. Raise hands. Very good. Okay, who like to have this dream tonight? Who like to have this dream tonight? Who likes to have this dream tonight? Raise hands. Okay, who will have this dream tonight? Raise hands. Wow. Who will have this dream tonight? Why not? It's a very pleasant dream. Why not? Quick. Yes, Pujila? This because you don't have the choice. You don't have the freedom to choose the dream. You're getting it? So you don't have the freedom to choose. Lack of freedom is misery. You're getting it? Even the pleasant dream is a problem, is misery, because you do not have the freedom to choose that. That's the problem. Okay, so if you don't want that lack of freedom, what should you do? What should you do? Wake up. You're getting it? Wake up. Okay, so how waking up helps you? Tell me. How waking up helps you to save you from the lack of freedom? Anyone? Very quick. How the waking up helps you? Raise hands. Yes, Paruji.
You realize it was only coming from your mind.
You realize that whatever happened in dream is all coming from your mind. Oh, let's not forget it. How many agree with Paruji? Raise hands. You know that it's coming from your mind. The moment you realize it's coming from the mind, when does it happen? In the dream or outside the dream? To see that whatever happened in the dream it was just coming from my mind. Did it happen in the dream? Was it in the dream or outside the dream? Outside the dream. So how to get out outside the dream? Wake up. Right? It is for this reason that the Buddha, one of the epithets of the Buddha is that the Buddha is referred to as, revered as the fully awakened one. Fully awakened one. You're getting it? We have to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. Okay, how to wake up? What does it mean by waking up? Waking up means that things are seen. Waking up is synonymous with seeing things as coming from your mind. You're getting it? In the sleep, you see things as coming from the object, not from the mind. Waking up, how it benefits, how it helps you is that you see things as coming from your mind. So, we see that they say dream. We have to wake up from the another dream. Dream there are two. Conventional dream and unconventional dream. From the conventional dream, we wake up every day. But we have never woken up from the unconventional dream. What is happening now is an unconventional dream. Right? We have never woken up from this unconventional dream. So, how to wake up from the unconventional dream? Anybody? Quick. What do you mean by waking up from this unconventional dream? Just in your own words. Anyone? What does it mean by waking up from the unconventional dream? Anyone?
Understanding the reality as it is.
Understanding the reality as it is. Anyone else? Yes?
Waking up from your ignorance.
To wake up from the ignorance. Anyone else?
Seeing things as empty of objective existence.
Seeing things as empty of objective existence. Anyone else? Yes. Removing your sufferings. Anyone else? Yes, Cholra Sira. Huh? No, what is mean by waking up from the unconventional dream? What is mean by unconventional dream? How to wake up from unconventional dream? By studying, right? But what does mean by waking up from the unconventional dream? Anyone?
Having fearlessness and
Having a fearlessness. Good. Anyone else? Pudila? That everything, not only the dream, even the non-dream things, what we call as the unconventional dream, everything is coming from your mind. Okay, Aja Pimla? To see the reality. To see the reality. What's the reality? That nothing is from the object, is coming from your mind. Right? Okay, so we see that all the answers given, they are correct. They are correct. Why I'm making this, this is a very complicated topic, and if I just teach it unilaterally, right, then you think that something's going in, right, and then finally at the end of the retreat you have nothing left, right? So whereas when I make you speak, that you're thinking, and then you are, say, getting something. Okay, that's very important. Good. In other words, what we need to learn is that just as to wake up from the ordinary dream means that to know that, okay, that whatever happened in the dream, it was all coming from my mind. Likewise, to wake up from the unconventional dream is to know that everything is coming from my mind. You're getting it? Okay. Let's say that you look at this flower. Oh, I thought this is a real flower. Okay, but it looks so real, right? Okay, so let's look at this flower. The flower is the object, and what sees the flower is your mind. Mind is the subject. So there's the object-subject interaction happening. You're getting it? Now, in the dream, you see the dream flower as from the object or from the subject? In the dream. From the object. In other words, in the dream you see the flower as objectively real. When you wake up, you say, oh, it was not real, it was just coming from my mind. You are seeing that when you wake up, you see the dream flower as subjectively real. In the dream, you see that as objectively real. Waking up, you see the dream flower as subjectively real. Okay, so with this, what we introduce concept of the subjective existence and objective existence. You're getting it? Okay. Having said this, when we say everything is nature, emptiness and selflessness. So what we said is that the dream flower is subjectively real or objectively real? Dream flower, is it objectively real or subjectively real? Dream flower, is it objectively real or subjectively real? Dream flower. Okay, how many of you would say objectively real raise hands? How many of you say subjectively real raise hands? Okay, those of you who raise your hands to say this objectively real raise hands? Okay, don't put your hands down, right? Keep hands. Okay. The dream flower, is it coming from your mind or coming from the object? Hey, those of you who raise your hands.
Within the dream it is coming.
No, I didn't say within the dream. I said the dream flower, did it exist objectively or subjectively? This is my question. Huh? Okay, from the mind. The mind is object or subject? Subject. So the dream flower is objectively real or subjectively real? Subjectively real. Good. You're getting it? Okay. Mirage. In Tibetan, mirage is mikyu. Mirage. Mirage, is it subjectively real or objectively real?
Subjectively real.
Hey. Mirage, is it subjectively real or objectively real? Huh? Subjectively real. Are you sure? Ajikasanla became a little shaky. When I said, are you sure? She was not sure, right? Are you sure? He is very sure. Okay. So mirage is subjectively real, meaning that it appeared as water, or water appeared. There's no water there actually. It's just the deception, optical delusion of your eye consciousness. So it is subjectively real. It's just what your mind creates as a water. There's no water there. Okay. So When I say that, let's say that this flower is let's say this flower is close to, okay, this flower is lying close to Tenzing umbrella, right? Where's Tenzing umbrella? Raise hands. Tenzing umbrella, raise hand. Okay, so let's say this flower is lying next to Tenzing umbrella, and I rushed and said that this is mine, right? This is mine. What does it mean by that? It means that it is not yours. It is a nice way of saying it's not yours. If I rush there and say that, hey, this is not yours, it's very offensive. You agree? So when I say that it is mine, it's another way of saying that it is not yours. You're getting it? So when we say that the mirage or the dream is subjective real, what's the opposite of subjective real? Objective reality. You're getting it? When you say that the dream is subjectively real, it means that it is empty of being objectively real. So this mind means it is not yours. Not is empty of being yours. So when you say the dream flower is subjectively real, means it is empty of objective reality. It is being empty of objectively existent. You're getting it? So empty of objective existence is known as emptiness. When you speak of emptiness, that everything is empty, all phenomena are empty, and what is that? The third seal. Selflessness. Everything is the nature. All phenomena, so I have a different English, the translate coming to my mouth. Everything is the nature of emptiness. How do you say this? All phenomena as the nature of emptiness, selflessness. Okay, so the empty has the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Emptiness means empty of objective existence. Okay, this in future, if anybody asks you what is emptiness, right? Well, there's nothing. There's empty. Don't say that. Emptiness means emptiness of objective existence. Be able to say this at least. Getting it? Empty of objective existence. Okay. So now, what's the benefit if you know that everything, nothing exists from the object, everything is empty of objective existence? What's the benefit? Anyone? What's the benefit? Yes, Gabor?
That nothing really can harm me.
So when you say that nothing exists objectively, then you see it's just coming from your mind, not from an object. It's like when you wake up, do you agree with me that in the dream, you are affected by the dream contents? In the dream, you are affected by the dream contents, right? Okay, do you know how the dream contents affect you? How many you were affected by the dream contents that happened in the dream that affect you so badly? Raise hands. Can you give me some examples? Anyone? Anybody were affected in the dream by the dream contents? Anyone? Can you give some examples? Yes? Yeah, you know, so what happened to the Chandrasekhar, right? Okay, and it happened to me also. 1 year before my father passed away, I dreamed of him passing away, and it was quite extremely sad moment in my dream. I woke up, I was so relieved. Yes. So the dream contents can affect you, but the moment you wake up, the dream contents will not affect you anymore. Knowing that, how it does not affect you? By knowing that it was just my mental projection. You're getting it? It was just this is extremely precious. So if you know that things are all coming from your mind, things are all subjectively real, all your fears dissolve. You are not being affected by the external objects anymore. This is so precious. So this is what we have to, somehow we must get some understanding how nothing really exists objectively. It's all coming from the mind. This is so important. Okay. So that all your fears, stress, anxiety, and then the fear of losing near and dear ones, sickness, aging, death, all these, when you see that they all come from your mind, instantly your mind will be uplifted. all your earlier stress, tension are transcended. Transcended meaning they disappear. Transcended, you overcome these. So when you overcome the stress and the pains, anxiety, then your mind will be filled with the lightness and peace. This is a fourth seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. So if you could remember, on the day one, I said that the four seals, we have to remember, know the meaning of each of the lines plus the links, how they connected. You're getting it? Okay. The first line, what's the first line? All composite things are impermanent. So this will give us a sense of urgency that the composite things move so fast, changing so fast. And then combining this with the second line, changing so fast, driven by contamination, will take us to miseries. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. And then is there a way out? Way out from these miseries? Yes, there's a way out. What is the way out? So what should we do if you want to get away from these miseries? Raise hands, raise hands. Quick. Yes. Okay, so the first we have to track the cause of this suffering, right? What's the cause of suffering? Contaminations, particularly self-grasping ignorance. Okay, we have to get rid of the root, the root of all suffering. So how do we get rid of self-grasping ignorance? By introducing the counter-force. What's the counter-force? Bodhicitta or the wisdom of emptiness? Bodhicitta is the driving force, but the real counter-force is the wisdom of emptiness, right? Wisdom of emptiness. If this wisdom of emptiness is supported by the bodhicitta, then it will remove not only the self-grasping ignorance, but also the subtle stains of this cognitive obscurations. But the one which actually eliminates the self-grasping ignorance is the wisdom of emptiness. So we have to cultivate the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, by cultivating wisdom of emptiness, what happens? Your miseries, your sorrows will be transcended. Fourth seal. The third seal is what? That we need to cultivate the wisdom of emptiness. Everything's nature, emptiness, selflessness. If you cultivate this wisdom, what's the benefit? Your sorrows will be transcended. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. You're getting it? Okay. From this, what did we learn? What should we have to do? Learning these four seals, from this, what is the message for us? What should we be doing in this life? Tell me. From these four, learning these four seals, what message do we get? Huh?
There is no time to waste.
Okay, one sense of urgency, that there's no time to waste. Good. Number two, there's no hard and fast rule. Just speak what comes to your mind. Study what? We have to understand emptiness to know that, wake up. How to wake up? To know that things are all subjectively real. Nothing is objectively real. Everything is empty of objective reality. And how to get there? By studying, reflecting and meditating. In other words, study, reflect and meditate on the wisdom of emptiness. This is what we should be doing. You're getting it? Okay. So having said this, I like to so from this finally the real answer comes, the real solution is to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So the question is how to wake up. How to wake up. What do I mean by waking up? To know that things are empty of objective existence. Things are all coming from your mind. You have a question? Rajni, right? Rajni, yes. Okay, good. This is a real professor. I can see that. Okay, so the question is that Thursday says everything is all phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness. There are two words used, not only emptiness. There's another word also, selflessness. Why this word is added? You're getting it? It's a good question. Okay. Okay. How many of you felt the same thing, but you don't dare to ask a question? Raise hands. Okay, one. Okay, otherwise, everyone just goes into the ecstasy. Wow, this is amazing, and then flows, right? Two of them got this. Okay, this is very a good question. The okay, what is the question? Tell me, what's the question? Selflessness exists, not exists? What's the question? Anyone? What's the question? Yes. Okay. In the third seal, it's not only that everything is the nature of emptiness. There's another word also. Everything is the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Why this word, selflessness, is added? Why the two words are given there? Okay, this is a good question. And okay, so this says in the Pali Canon. Pali Canon meaning teachings of the Buddha's teachings on these four seals. In the Pali Canon, you only see three. All composite things impermanent, all contaminated things are suffering nature, and everything is the nature of selflessness. In other words, anicca, which is impermanence, dukkha, suffering, and anatta, selflessness. Only three. Whereas you find in the Sanskrit canons, teachings of the Buddha, translated or available in Sanskrit, you find both. You find both meaning the impermanence, suffering, selflessness, the three version of the three, and version of the four. Impermanence, suffering, emptiness, selflessness. Four. Okay. For this purpose is the let's say that impermanence is fine. Then what's next? Suffering is okay. And then so basically the Buddha taught the four misconceptions. Four misconceptions. Misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Misconceiving suffering nature as happiness. Misconceiving impure things as pure. Misconceiving selfless nature as of selfhood. Impure is pure. Now, to get rid of these four levels of ignorance, first, Buddha taught impermanence. Second, the Buddha taught suffering nature. Third one, which misconceives what? Impure as pure. The Buddha taught impure as being empty of being pure. Those things which are actually impure, you see them as pure, we see them as pure, because they are empty of being pure. Empty of purity, empty of being pure. That is emptiness. Then the next one is that everything is nature of selflessness. The Buddha taught that what? The misconception of misconceiving what is selfless nature as of selfhood. To get rid of this, you have to understand selflessness. So this is how it becomes complete. You're getting it? Okay, good. So, what should we do now? Out of four seals? Anyone? Renunciation, right? Okay, renunciation, renounce miseries. How to renounce miseries? In other words, you have to tell me that, okay, say we have reached somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where we reached. Now your job is to tell me to take you to the next step. So what is that? Hey.
Is there a way to get out of the misery?
Oh, so we said yes, there's a way out, right? Number 3 and number 4. Anyone else? Yes. What? How what? How do we go to Rajgir? How to get out of misery, or how to wake up? To be very precise. How to wake up. So the miseries will come to an end, right? Is this a question? Good. How to wake up? What do you mean by how to wake up? How to wake up means how to see everything as the nature of your mind. How to see everything as your mental imputation. Mental imputation meaning how your mind projects everything. How everything is coming from your mind. You're getting it? How everything is the mental, this word we have to learn. how everything is a mental imputation. Imputation meaning how they are projected by your mind, how they are imputed by your mind. Okay, to know this, okay, how many of you are serious to know this? Raise hands. Okay, how many are serious? Very serious. Who are serious with being serious? Raise hands. Okay, if you're very serious, then listen. We have to know, that everything comes from the mind means it. In other words, it means that nothing is objectively real. Everything is empty of being objectively real, right? How do we know that everything is empty of objectively real? So, what is emptiness? Here, what is emptiness? Emptiness means empty of objective existence. How to know that? This is a job, right, Chelsea? This is a job. How to know that everything is empty of objective reality? It doesn't mean that nothing exists. Everything exists subjectively. You're getting it? Okay. For this, we need to know to know emptiness. This is it says that Arya Nagarjuna, the contemporary historians identified him to have appeared in the 2nd century AD. Okay, the dates is they were not too sure. Let's say the 2nd century AD. Arya Nagarjuna's disciple, the chief disciple, Bodhisattva Arideva, what he said was that those with less merit will not even have a doubt with this teaching on emptiness. Should a qualm or a doubt ever arise in somebody, the samsara of that person will be shattered into pieces. You're getting it? So this is the benefit of this teaching. Say, hardly will find, only those people who have some merit will meet with the teaching on emptiness. If you don't have the merit, you will not meet with the teaching on emptiness. If you don't meet with the teaching on emptiness, you will not even have a doubt whether or not things exist, objective or subjective. You have not have doubt. You just take it for granted that things exist objectively. If through meeting with these teachings, somehow a thought comes to you, oh, that the text says that things exist, the subject, nothing from the object. How is it true? If these thoughts come to you, that thought will shatter your samsara into pieces, which means that your miseries will disappear. It's so precious. Okay, so how do we know that things are the empty of objective real? Okay, for this we need to know what is known as, we need to know very precisely, we need to know the concept of dependent origination. We need to know the concept of dependent origination. Okay, for this what we need to know is that emptiness, many people take the emptiness means nothingness. Emptiness is like nihilism. This is a total misguided information. To get the impression that emptiness means nothingness. It's not nothingness. So what is emptiness then? We know this. Emptiness equals dependent origination. In other words, emptiness means dependent origination, number one. Number two, dependent origination means the middle way. Let me repeat it. Emptiness means dependent origination, and dependent origination means the middle way. Okay. If I tell you that A equals B and B equals C, what is your deduction? What is your conclusion? Therefore, A equals C. You are getting it? So when I say A equals B, B equals C, you should be able to conclude saying that, okay, do you mean to say A equals C? Answer is yes. You getting it? So when I say emptiness means dependent origination. Number two, dependent origination means the middle way. Therefore, you have to, what's the conclusion that you can draw? Therefore, emptiness means the middle way. Okay, you said it. Who said it? I do not say this. Who said it? You all said it. You get, what did you say? Louder. Okay, some people think that others will say loud. I don't have to say this, right? Okay, say louder. What did you say? Therefore, emptiness means the middle way. Okay, don't change your mind. Don't change your mind throughout your life. You're getting it? Why I'm saying that don't change your mind is that if ever in your life you start to interpret emptiness means nothing there. You're getting it? Nothing exists, right? And sometimes you will say that if everything is the emptiness, then where is reincarnation? What migrates from one life to the other? We are not saying that there's no reincarnation. Reincarnation is there. Emptiness is not nothingness. Emptiness doesn't mean reincarnation doesn't exist, right? If you interpret emptiness as reincarnation is not there, then you are falling into nihilism. You are not understanding emptiness to mean the middle way. While you said now that emptiness means the middle way. What is the middle way? Okay, for this you have to know first how emptiness equals dependent origination. This is one job. Second job, how dependent origination equals the middle way. Second job. Then your job, the conclusion, therefore emptiness means the middle way. You're getting it? Okay, what is the first? How emptiness means the middle way. Right? No? How emptiness means dependent origination. Okay, for this you have to know 5 points. How emptiness means the middle way, you have to know 5 points. Okay, number one. Number one is emptiness. Point number one. Point number two. Emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. This is number two. Okay. How many of you know who? Raise hands. How many of you know who? Right? Those people who are with the confused face. Oh, he doesn't know what is meant by who. Who is who? Right? Okay. When you feel a little confused, which means that you think that I'm looking for the meaning of the who. What? Who is who? But this is not the meaning. Who is? World Health Organization. WHO. World Health Organization. Who? When somebody asks you, what is who? Right? Don't think that he doesn't know the meaning of who. Who is who? Right? Actually, he is asking, right? World Health Organization, which is the short form of WH. No, WHO is the short form of World Health Organization. Okay, good. So when we say emptiness, emptiness is just not just nothingness. It is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. You're getting it? In future, if you meet anybody interpreting emptiness as nothingness, you should be able to tell them that emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. Emptiness is simply a short form of emptiness of objective or independent existence. Emptiness of independent existence. Okay, number one is emptiness. Number two is that emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Number two. Number three. Emptiness of independent existence means nothing exists independently. Number three. Emptiness of independent existence means, number three, nothing exists independently. Number three. Nothing exists independently means everything exists by dependence. You're getting it? This is number four. That everything exists by dependence. If nothing exists independently, then everything should exist by dependence. Number four. If everything exists by dependence, everything is dependently originated. Everything is dependently originated. Number five. Everything is dependently originated. From these 5 points, we come to deduce that emptiness is not nothingness. Emptiness is the meaning of dependent origination. Okay, first job is done. In your group discussion, they ask all of you to make sure that everybody can say these 5 points. 5 points, one after the other, before jumping into the very complicated questions, right? Okay, what's next? How is dependent origination the middle way? For this, you need to know 2 points. How is dependent origination, how it equals the middle way? For this, we need to know 2 points. Number 1, because the dependent origination has 2 sides, dependence and origination. Dependent origination, 2 sides, dependence, origination. Point number 1. Point number 1. Okay, dependence. The first one, dependence. What is the opposite of dependence? Independence. When you say dependence, it rejects independence. Independent existence and absolute existence, these two mean the same. It is absolute, it is independent. These two are same. So when you say dependent, it rejects the extreme of independence or it rejects the extreme of absolutism. The first one, dependence, it rejects the extreme of absolutism. What's number 2? Origination. When we say origination, something comes into origination. Something comes into existence. What's the opposite of existence? Non-existence or nihilism. Non-existence, nihilism. So with origination, it rejects the extreme of nihilism. The first, dependence, it rejects the extreme of absolutism. But the second one, origination, it rejects the extreme of nihilism. You're getting it? Bringing the two together, dependent and origination, it rejects the 2 extremes. Rejecting the 2 extremes is following the middle way. You're getting it? So middle way means it is not nihilism, it is not absolutism. It's following the middle way. Okay, so this is how we understand that dependent origination equals the middle way. Therefore, emptiness means the middle way, it is not nihilism. This is extremely important for us to know. Okay. Next. Okay, all these things you have to discuss in your group discussion. Next, dependent origination. We have to go a little bit about the dependent origination. The concept of dependent origination is extremely important. Dependent origination, that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, in his public addresses, he talks about sometimes 3 levels of dependent origination, sometimes 2 levels of dependent origination. So if we learn the 3 levels of dependent origination, then it suffices us to learn then 2 levels of dependent origination as well. So what are the 3 levels of dependent origination? This is what we need to know. And if possible, all these technicalities we need to have on our fingertips. All these technicalities, like 3, and the emptiness means middle way, how, 5 points. Emptiness means dependent origination, how, 5 points. Dependent origination means the middle way, how, 2 points, right? And how many kinds of dependent origination are there? 3 levels are there. All these you must have on your fingertips. Without these facts in your mind, you may talk about it after learning about emptiness for years and years. You may have something to say, but the clarity will never come to your mind without these facts on your fingertips. Some people, they never go for the, oh no, it's very easy, 3 levels are very easy, emptiness means dependent, very easy, dependent means the middle way, very easy, therefore emptiness is middle way, very easy. And later on, after a few months, after a few years, right? Those people who make all these points on their fingertips, for them, sophisticated questions are asked, they can easily, their mind easily process all this information which they already had, and they come with the brilliant answers. Those who just say that easy, when you're learning it freshly, it's very easy. It's not difficult. But these are the set of information, very important information, and if you don't have them on your fingertips, later on you may, because you heard about emptiness so many times. So when someone talks about emptiness, you may have something to say. But then when the nuanced questions are asked, you will say something very shallow and you cannot penetrate them. Those people who have these on their fingertips, say, some of the computers, they can operate with the softwares very easily. And some of the computers, the softwares, they are not compatible. Why? Because the hardware and the software needs to be compatible, right? So there should be hardware intact. So when you miss these technicalities, you don't know the hardware. So the sophisticated questions are asked, these are the softwares, and you have no answers. So this actually happened in one center. Therefore, all these, don't think that these are small things. These are so precious. Even quantum mechanics is not difficult. But how does it become complicated is because that it requires a lot of background information. When you don't have this information, then suddenly when somebody asks these questions, right, then you get stuck that, oh, this is very complicated. No, it's not complicated. Only thing is that we require all this information. Okay, so in one center, it actually happened that there was one person who was into the, say, Dharma in the center for the last 15, 20 years. A person is also quite intelligent. But the person never goes through the systematic studies. Just listen to the, and then he's quite intelligent. He thinks that this is very easy. I already heard it. One day, after 20 years meaning him being in the center for 20 years, I know him, and we also like personal friends. We know each other well. And one day I was giving teaching there, and I asked a little twisted question, and he raised his hand, and he gave the answer, and I said, good, but don't trust my good. When I say good, when I say very good, don't trust my very good, right? And I said, good. And then another girl, very young girl, raised her hand. And the answer that she gave is brilliant. So good answer, right? And later on, she introduced herself. And I asked her, how many years have you been in the center? She said, just a few months. And this gentleman was in the center for 20 years. And he's relatively intelligent. And this girl later on introduced to me, saying that I'm doing Nalanda Master's course, NMC Batch 1. Then I realized, wow, so this systematic studies is so important, where you remember these technical aspects, right? And then with the cumulative, if you can feel the cumulative effect. When nuanced questions are asked, you can give the nuanced answer. And then later on, I asked the gentleman, when I was with him separately, I asked him, did you see the difference between the answer that you gave and this girl who was just 4 months in the center gave? Did you see the difference? He said, yes. What's the difference? And he said that my answer is there's nothing very systematic there, and I cannot really go into the nuances. Whereas this girl, the answer that she gave is extremely systematic and could really touch the base. This is the difference. And I asked him, do you know why that happened? You are intelligent. You're here for the last 20 years. This girl only for 4 months. Do you know why this difference came? And he acknowledged that because that I did not really go into the technicalities. I just take for granted the technicalities. So we should remember these technical points. Okay. So, dependent origin, there are 3 levels. Right? What are 3 levels? Afternoon session. Yata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate bodhisvatyatha om gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisvatyatha